Have you noticed how media loves one phrase, Emperor Xi? From the Atlantic to the Economist, they repeat it like a spell. The Red Emperor, the strong man ruling over 1.4 billion people, a modern monarch who makes the free world nervous. But that's not an analysis, it's a storytelling with political language. In this story, China is still trapped in a pre-modern empire, and opposing China means defending global freedom. It sounds noble, thrilling, even righteous. But here's the problem. The emperor metaphor explains nothing about today's China. In fact, it distorts how the system really works. So today, let's ask if imperial thinking fails to explain modern China, so how China really works today, and in just over a decade, made China's military and technology bloom everywhere at once. Canceling term limits, red carpets, long shots of Tiananmen parades, personal quarters on banners, solemn rituals, they all project a feeling of imperial power. No wonder some people think Xi is a modern emperor in a suit. But these displays are not about one man's power. They are symbolic language of feudal order that 1.4 billion people can see and understand. Those images, the flags, the ceremonies, the choreography, are the interface. To really understand how China's political system works, we have to look at the three core layers of power. First, China's hard power, the People's Liberation Army. Second, the iron fist of authority, the national security and public security system. And third, the party's organizational network. Let's start from the core of hard power, the PLA. Since Xi took office, the PLA was restructured from 7 military regions to 5 civil commands. Departments were rebuilt into 5 functional systems: operations, politicals, logistics, equipment, and science technology. This wasn't a name change, it was a module redesign. The old army worked vertically, follow orders. The new army works horizontally, follow functions. Each suit can act on its own data chain while staying connected to a central network. Take the aircraft carrier Fujian. Its flight scheduling, catapult system, and power testing are not commanded by one general's voice, but coordinated among the equipment department, shipbuilders, and research institutes through synchronized data links. Orders become system execution. Speed goes up, errors go down. The military becomes a smart machine, not a feudal chain of command. At this point, you might ask, if China's system is so structured, how do we explain the recent military shake-up? You are right. In October, the Defense Ministry announced disciplinary actions against 9 senior officials, including Miao Hua and He Weidong. But the timing matters. The actual removal happened much earlier, between late 2023 and early 2024. By then, Miao Hua, head of the political work department, was already gone. Vice Chairman He Weidong hadn't appeared in public for months. Navy Deputy Commander Li Hanjun had also been dismissed. Think tanks abroad noted something even stranger. The commander post of Beijing's garrison had been left vacant since March. That unit guards the capital, the last barrier against any coup attempt, often called the Red Wall safety lock. The last time the position stayed empty this long was in 1960s. Of course, there's a political side to it. Part of this reshuffle targeted old military networks and redistributed command power. But if we only see purge or power struggle, we will miss the deeper transformation. because at the same time, China's second stage of military reform was unfolding, and this round wasn't about concentrating or reducing power. It was about decoupling personal command nodes and turning them into functional modules. The old system linked authority to individuals, the new one links it to functions. Security, political work, and combat rules are now split into separate modules, then reconnected to the central command network through digital coordination. Take Miaohua's political work department. It used to manage both personal and ideology. Now, part of its role is handled by automated monitoring systems and AI-based political modules, creating a feedback loop that tracks moral and information flows in real time. Even the vacant Beijing garrison fits this logic. In the old power structure, the post had to be filled by someone absolutely loyal, physically guarding the leadership with real troops. But under modular governance, such power choke points become system risks. So instead of concentrating control in one person, the command functions are now distributed across modules. Even if a key seat is empty, the network keeps running. What looks like a political purge on the surface is actually a deeper transition from a man-commanded army to a system-commanded army. Next, the same modular design now runs through the security and administrative systems too. Since 2014, under the idea of holistic national security, China's security network was split into 16 modules: military, political, food, energy, ecological, data, tech, supply chain, and more. Security is no longer about catching threats, it's about modeling risks and predicting them. During the 2023 chip blockade, Beijing didn't just hold emergency meetings. It built a national risk map, integrating data from ministries, local governments, and companies. The goal wasn't to find who to blame, but which link was weakest, which dependency most dangerous. Months later, this model led to the National Semiconductor Supply Reserve Mechanism, a direct product of module coordination between security and industry. Finally, the organizational system itself is changing. Departments that once acted like silos are being rewritten into cross-department networks. The National Data Bureau, founded in 2023, connects a country's major ministries, from planning and industry to cyberspace and statistics, creating China's first real-time data hub for national policy. This isn't imperial control, it's module governance. In the traditional bureaucratic pyramid, power flows top-down, layer by layer. Stable, yes, but slow. In China's system, power flows through a network. Each node acts, feeds back, and adjusts on its own. And Xi's role in this system isn't that of an emperor sitting on top, but of the chief operator inside it. He's the one who calibrates the modules, sets the system's rhythm, and makes sure all the pieces move in sync. He doesn't rule by decree, he turns by design. His power comes not from breaking the system, but from running it. That's the real operating logic of modern China, a political network that learns, updates, and self-corrects like software. So, if you still look at China through the lens of emperors and decrees, you are not just missing the picture, you are staring at the wrong century. This same logic now drives China's economy. In the West, 5-year plans sound like relics of the past: central planning, old socialism, outdated bureaucracy. But in China, planning has evolved into a real-time operating network. Each industry, each region, each ministry is a node in a massive feedback system, connected by data, policy loops, and continuous adjustment. Take Made in China 2025. It divided manufacturing into 10 key sectors: machine tools, aerospace, EVs, biomedicine, new materials, and more. Each became a module with its own innovation, supply, and policy chain. Look at electrical vehicles. From local pilot subsidies to national standards, from experiments to mass exports, it followed a full feedback loop: pilot, data, adjustment, upgrade. In 2024, China exported over 5 million EVs. That's not one company's success. It's a system learning together. So when people say China's rise is thanks to the whole nation working as one, that's true, but not in an old command economy sense. It's not everyone pushing in one direction. It's every module optimizing with one coordinated network. Since 2015, out of 10 target industries, China has achieved breakthroughs in 8. From robotics to aerospace to rail transit, only chips and high-end medical equipment remain in catch-up mode. And that's why the West got nervous. By 2018, Made in China 2025 was branded as China's ambition, a threat to Western industries, so Beijing quietly dropped the slogan, replacing it with phrases like self-reliance and new productive forces. But slogans can fit, systems don't. The machine keeps running everywhere you look. AI, green energy, smart manufacturing. You are seeing the outcome of this module state plus module industrial coupling. Government modules like the Ministry of Industries, NDRC, and Finance sync with industrial ones: AI, robotics, materials, renewables. Data feedback turns local experiments into national strategy. So when the 15th five-year plan arrives, don't read it as a static blueprint. Think of it as a system update. New algorithms, new data interfaces, new coordination nodes. That's how China plans now. It's not comment, it's computation. Beyond the emperor frame, modern China doesn't run on personal will. It runs on structure. Individual leaders are inputs to a system, not the system itself. That's why such a huge country can move in so many directions at once. From aircraft carriers to AI, from rural logistics to quantum labs. China's development speed is no longer leader speed. It's a system speed. Module design makes it fast. Network coordinations makes it precise. Data feedback makes it self-learning. That's why, while the West debates ideology, China keeps optimizing performance. Imperial logic looks for a person, system logic looks for structure. An emperor can rule an era, but a system can push civilization forward. Okay, that's all for today. Don't forget to tell me your idea in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and join me for more stories told from a Chinese perspective. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.